Balaghat at Birangana Satyasati University. How would you describe your visit to here? And you met the students also. You have given a lecture. How would you describe your visit to here?
Well, I'm very pleased to be here because it's a nice area. And it's the first time I come to Assam, and I have much to learn about Assam, to see what are the conditions, how people live, and all these things. So we have to interact with the students to see what progress can be made in which area to remain environmentally friendly and also for climate change friendly. So it's a big task. So we just started the discussions, and I think you should preserve this area because it's a nice area, but also allow people to get more developed. So and you have to take into consideration population growth locally, nationally, and at the world level. So this is quite a challenge, but this issue of climate change and of sustainable development is not a simple issue. It's many problems arise here and there, and we have to work hard on this to find solutions. But I'm confident that this university, and with the help of Vice Chancellor, students will take over some studies and some to improve the situation and to find out what can be done to improve the situation here for population.
So, in a very short, what is the scenario of there in France, in your own country, comparing to India? The vast, diversities are there. What will be your views and your perspective on climate changing effects?
In France, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, France will be affected by climate change like any other country, and it's particularly in south of France. And one very difficult area is Mediterranean countries, all around Mediterranean, because, of course, France is producing an excess of wheat today. Up to 1950, it was not the case. We had to import every year, about 10% of the yield of grain that we consumed. And for England and for Holland, it was even worse. They had to import about 80% of the grain they consumed. And they could do it because they could export coal and iron. So without that, they would have remained completely underdeveloped because there were too numerous on this continent, on this land in Britain. So, coming back to Mediterranean area, so that means some people think that we should decrease the yields in France and export less wheat. But 1 calorie out of 2 in south of Mediterranean countries, you take Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, they import 1 calorie out of 2 to feed themselves. So if we stop producing it, they will have less to eat. So we have to consider the whole system. And of course, in Mediterranean areas, climate change is even a difficult issue because here you have more rainfall now, or more different types of rainfall. The place where I live in south of France, we have sometimes what we call the seasonal episode. That means when we have hot air with a large quantity of moisture in the air, hitting the cold air from a continental area, and all of a sudden we have huge precipitations. And last year you may have heard about Valencia in Spain, but we also had problems in France. And in my place, sometimes in the past, we had an increase of a river level up to 7 meters. It's all of a sudden. So it was not due to climate change, it was due to this phenomenon, but climate change may increase this problem because more moisture is evaporating in Mediterranean area, and that means that more moisture is in the air, in the atmosphere, and when it hits the cold area, we have huge precipitation. So it's a complicated issue in many places, and we have to face that and to adapt to this situation as much as possible.
So apart from the study elements, how would you describe the food, the culture you have seen here in Assam and India?
Well, I appreciate very much Indian hospitality. It's very nice people. I have many friends here, and I've been working in particular with Professor Rishi Bell, who passed away last week. But we have been working for more than 40 years together on sustainable development in Asia and Africa, and we did our best, and unfortunately we lost very big scientist and also a very person very much involved in sustainable development in many countries. So it's really very pity. But I'm very happy to be here, and we hope to continue his work in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's very, very important.
যিকোনো খবৰৰ বাবে যোগাযোগ কৰক 7099017330 লগতে 7099017110 নম্বৰত।